Hi boys and girls, we're going to be starting on our project today that you have your texture rubbing sheets. So you're going to need to go find your 5 full pages of texture rubbings, and we're going to be talking about shapes. So I'm going to actually do a scavenger hunt in my house, and I'm going to be looking for different shapes that I can trace on these papers. So I want them to be objects that are small. So some of the things that I grabbed already, I grabbed a cup because I have a circle on the top and the bottom. I grabbed out of recycling some bottle caps. You could use a nice square, would be my Rubik's Cube. I grabbed out some dominoes. There's some rectangles there. I went in the recycling. I found that this box has a nice rectangle on the bottom. I think this side might be a little too big, but I could also trace this side. So go around your house and look for shapes. My little people, like kindergarten through first grade, I would like you guys to find geometric shapes. Those are our math shapes, like rectangles, circles, squares. Maybe you can find an octagon. Good luck. I couldn't find one at my house. And then my older friends, we're going to be also working with some organic shapes. That's when a line goes for a walk and it makes a shape. You don't have to trace those. You can make them up yourselves, but everybody should start with a few geometric shapes. And I'm going to switch to the other camera so I can show you what we're going to do. Go find those shapes. Okay, so this is my table view. I've switched the camera so you can see. And this is a page of my rubbings. And I think that it will probably be easier in some cases to just flip the paper over because it's blank on the other side. But you could do it on the side where your texture rubbing is also. And I'm going to use a Sharpie just so you can see it better on the camera, but you could use a pencil to trace your shapes. And so really what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my shape right on here, and I'm just going to trace around it so that I can later cut these out. So you're going to take your shapes and you are going to trace them on your texture page. I'm going to say you want at least 10, maybe 12 shapes. You can repeat the shapes. You can put one on one page, one on another. You can also try cutting some out because this one paper that I had for this project, you'll see it's actually graph paper. And so I could actually just follow along right on the lines that are already here. And I could cut out on these lines. See how that I'm just following along on the lines. And because I already cut out one, if I cut this out, I'll have one straight line. Well, I could just bump the next one right to it, so it'll be even easier, a little bit less cutting, right? I've cheated a little bit. And so I'm going to make a small square here. So this graph paper is kind of nice because it gave me all of these shapes already. So I want you to find the shapes, trace them on your pages to start out with, and then it is time to break out the scissors. So whatever scissors you can find at your house, you're going to use them, and you are going to cut out your shapes. And I'm going to cut mine out, and then I'll get back to you and show you what we're going to do next. So I finished cutting out my 12 or 15 shapes. That doesn't mean I'm done. Don't throw away your scrap paper. But what you can do now is you're going to look at these shapes on a larger piece of paper, and you're going to decide, what can you do with these? What do they look like? Could you make them into maybe a robot? Maybe you could turn them into a picture. Look at your shapes. See how you can put them together. Don't get out the glue yet. Start out by making some shapes and designs and figure out what they could be. Try it once, then take it, clear off your page. Try it again. Maybe you want to hold your bottom paper horizontally and you'll put it together this way. Maybe I'll feel that, oh, this is a very good design, but it would be even better if I had a triangle. Well, that's why you don't throw away your scraps, because you can go into your scraps and create the shapes that you need and then add them to your design. So you're not limited to the ones that you've already collected, but they're a very good start. So maybe I'll add that to it, and then I'll put this in the top. Maybe it's going to be a vehicle. I'm going to create a vehicle that is going to be in a picture. Maybe this will be my tree. I'll make it into a lollipop tree. You know how much I dislike them, but for collage with shapes, that is going to be fine. So look, you could also overlap, right? I could take this shape, this little rectangle I have, and I could put it as the door, or maybe the doorknob for my little vehicle. Maybe this is going to be a box in the back. Put it together different ways. When you have tried out 3 times different designs and you like one of them, then it is time to break out the glue. You can use a glue stick, you can use Elmer's glue, whatever you have to stick it, glue it together, and then send me a picture of what you've created. I can't wait to see the awesome things you've made.